Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. Now before I start this video, I'd just like to ask you all one question. I don't look too much like Arthur Askey, do I? When I'm making this video, I remember he sang a song about a bee, a very, very busy bee. Yeah, just my little joke. Yeah. Okay then, guys. Enough of the frivolity. Onto the main subject of the video. Now, what I'm going to do, I've got three movies here, all featuring deadly bees. I watched them this week, and I'm going to give them a rating now. So, some of you have most probably seen these movies already, but I'm going to, as I say, I watched them all in the week, and I thought I'd do a quick video just to talk a little bit about them, and give them a rating from 3 to 1, and it's end with the first one, my favourite one. Okay, then, guys. So, without further ado, I've got The Deadly Bees from 1966. I've got The Bees from 1978, starring John Saxon, and I've also got The Swarm again from 1978, starring Michael Caine. Okay then, guys, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read you the synopsis of each one in turn, and then talk a little bit about the movie, give me thoughts on them, and at the end of that, I'll give them a rating, as I say, 3 to 1. Okay then, guys, so the first one I'm going to read you is the Deadly Beast synopsis, starring Suzanne Lee and Frank Finlay from A Bouquet of Barbed Wire. Noted British horror director Freddie Francis and author Robert Bloch, who wrote Psycho, combined their talents for this tale of terror. Pop singer Vicki Robbins, Susanna Lee, collapses from exhaustion and takes a vacation on a small resort island. She soon meets Mr. Hargrove, played by Guy Dolman, a difficult man with a failing marriage who owns a resort and keeps bees as a hobby. However, when Hargrove's wife dies from bee stings, Vicky discovers that someone on the island is breeding a strain of killer bees, and she has to find out who is responsible and what can be done before they kill again. So that's the synopsis for the first movie, guys, 1966, The Deadly Bees. And there's some stills there, guys, from the movie. So that's the Deadly Bees synopsis. So I'm going to read the synopsis now for the Michael Caine one, The Swarm. Monsters by the millions, and they're all for real. Producer, director Eamon Allen, who done The Poseidon Adventure and Towering Inferno, now unleashes an end-of-the-world thriller based on scientific fact. In Africa and South America, killer bees are reality. Now the swarm is on the move into North America. There are enough stars for 5 films. You can say that again. Just look at that cast, guys. Who's who of Hollywood stars. You've got Michael Caine, Catherine Ross, Richard Whitmark, Olivia de Havilland, Henry Fonda, Fred McMurray, Richard Chamberlain, Jose Ferreira, Patty Duke Askin, Lee Grant, Bradford Dillman. But the scene stealers are the supporting cast. An estimated 22 million bees. 22 million bees. Oh. Definitely deployed to depict deadly attacks on people and places. It's a nightmare that will give you quite a buzz. So there you go, guys. That's a synopsis for the 1978 killer movie starring Michael Caine and loads and loads of other stars. That's The Swarm. Okay, and the last one I'd like to read you is the John Saxon movie, The Bees, again from 1978. This is Vinegar Syndrome, lovely slipcover. There you go, guys. There's the internal reversible artwork, and there's the back. Okay, synopsis for this one now. Evil corporations have smuggled a deadly strain of South American killer bees into the United States, and now the entire world may be on the brink of imminent destruction. As cities tumble, body counts rise, and mass hysteria ensues, scientist John Norman, played by John Saxon, thinks he might have discovered the secret strategy to stop the bees. Yeah, directed by Alfredo Zacharias. Now, the Bees is an epic disaster film and driving classic, chock full of outrageous action and jaw-dropping plot twists. Vinegar Syndrome brings the Bees into your living room, newly restored in 2K in its previously unavailable director's cut, and guaranteed to give you, I don't know who writes these synopses, guaranteed to give you a stingingly good entertainment. Okay then, guys, that's the synopsises for those 3 B movies. Okay, I'm going to talk about each one now, guys, and I'm going to give you the rating at the end. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Michael Caine one. The Swarm. This was very, very long movie, guys. It could have been cut. It seems to go on forever. Michael Caine's the main protagonist, and that is this scientist. He's trying to sort of like stop this deadly outbreak of South African killer bees from overrunning the United States. Some laughable dialogue in this, guys, because when Michael Caine, when he's talking about the bees, like, talking with the general played by Richard Widmark, who he doesn't get on with at all, they have a lot of verbal punches and that, he says, like, I always thought the insect world was against us, but I never ever thought it would turn out to be the bees, because they've always been our friends. Just laughable dialogue like that, guys, and that, And I've got a funny story to tell you about this as well. Michael Caine is quoted as saying, like, when he was making the film, when he had the bees and that, around him, he noticed he had these little specks on his clothes and that, and he thought it was honey. So what did he do? He started to, lick them, eat them like, think it was honey. It wasn't honey. It was bee feces. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, a little funny story for you. Yeah. But I don't know, guys. I didn't think this was all that great, really, to be honest with you. It could have been cut and that, they didn't see much of the bees, it was mostly technology and Richard Widmark having this constant verbal standoff with Michael Caine. They didn't get on at all on that, and Richard Widmark, he appoints this fella who was in the military, one of his aides, to sort of like work with Michael Caine, but keep a close eye on him, because he doesn't like Michael Caine, getting all the credit and the limelight and that, for trying to tackle the bees and that, so he's a bit distrustful of Michael Caine. But yeah, I didn't say I think really much of it, guys, this one. Very, very slow in parts, a lot of chat, not enough killer bee action. So I'm not going to give it a rating yet. I'm just going to talk about each one and say, and I'll give you the final rating for the three movies. But yeah, wasn't very impressed. You would have thought, like, with such a stellar cast and that, they would have made a better movie and that, but it wasn't for me, guys. In the end, I was near falling asleep near the end and that. Okay, enough said about that. So that's the first one. That's The Swarm from 1978. Okay, on to the other one now, John Saxon, The Bees, again from 1978. Similar sentiments, guys, I'm afraid. I didn't really like this one. The acting was very wooden, it was a bit corny at times, and I think this is one of John Saxon's worst movies. Very, very weak storyline, and the bees were a joke. The special effects were very cheesy, but very, very disappointed, because I love John Saxon and that, but he was wasted in this one. Didn't think much of it at all. So I've actually sold this already. I put it on eBay last night. I've got a buy for it already. So I've sold it. So yeah, didn't think much of that. That's The Bees from 1978. Finally, we come to The Deadly Bees, a British movie. This is an Amicus movie. I didn't know this was an Amicus movie. Yeah, from 1966, starring Susanna Lee, Frank Finlay, and Guy Dolan. And the girl who was in Evil of Frankenstein, the girl who played the dumb girl, in Evil of Frankenstein, she couldn't speak. She's in this. She has a guest appearance in this. Yeah, there she is, there, guys. Yeah, but this was a good one. This, guys, I did like this one. Good storyline, good old-fashioned British horror movie set in the countryside, and as I say, like Susanna Lee's the main protagonist, and she plays this 60s pop singer who she basically collapses on stage from exhaustion, and then like a doctor recommends that she goes to this place, this island, Seagull Island, to recuperate for 2 weeks, because he's got a friend there, and he puts up with the friend in that, but there's something a bit dodgy about him, because he's an avid bee collector, but there's also another avid bee collector, an equally avid bee collector on the island, in the form of Frank Finlay, and so both men, they're into bees and that, and when the bees start attacking people, you don't know which man is behind it. You don't know if it's the guy who Suzanne Lee's staying with, who's put her up, or you don't know if it's Frank Finley's character. Both of them are into bees and that, and some quite horrific kills in this, guys. Now, lovely picture as well in that, by the way. I really enjoyed this one. Yeah, so that's The Deadly Bees from 1966. Okay then, guys, on to a rating now. So, bottom of the pile. This was quite close, actually, because both of them are crap. But I'm going to give the bottom of the pile one, I think, to The Swarm, because it was too long, a lot of talk in it, and some laughable dialogue in it, guys. It was just ridiculous. I expected much more from this movie, but I got so little. one of Michael Caine's worst movies, in my opinion. Yeah, too much chat and that. Yeah, so that's bottom. That's bottom. So that is number 3. Next to bottom is this one, John Saxon on The Bees. Another soporific inducing movie. Didn't do anything for me at all. Seen much better movies than this one, you know, starring John Saxon. Yeah, very disappointed. So that's number 2, The Bees. And finally, we come to our number 1. You most probably guessed what it is, guys. Number 1 goes to The Deadly Bees. I loved this movie from start to finish. I thought it was a great movie, and Susanna Lee really on the money in this and that. You know, I apologise for the rather naughty bra scene there and that, but it's perfectly safe in that, I think, with YouTube.
Oh, you naughty boy.
But, oh yeah, I love this one, guys. I'm going to watch it again in a couple of weeks' time. Lovely. It is one of the gruesome kills there, guys, with the bees and that, you know, and great acting. There's Frank Finlay there. Yeah, great actor. Really enjoyed this one. Starts off like, you know, got a real 60s atmosphere, you know. Suzanne Lee, like she's a pop singer and that, you know, and she just collapses on stage. And then she goes to the island, and then, you know, it's got you guessing right to the end, guys. Who's the maniac that's setting all these killer bees onto people and that, you know. It's a great story, and I believe this is based on a novel. I wouldn't mind reading a novel, actually. Yeah, so this is definitely staying in my collection. The Deadly Bees. If you're looking for a good killer bees movie, guys, I would start with this one. You might like the other 2. That's just my opinion. You know, you might like the bees and you might like the swarm, but I didn't like them. But I loved this one, guys. I really loved this one. And this is the best killer bee movies. Okay, best movie about killer bees I have seen. You know, well, what can you expect? Amicus, they're really on the money when they're making horror films and that. You know, lovely scenery as well. You know, the countryside and that. You know, and yeah, very you know, dodgy characters and this and that. I love these kind of movies where you don't know who's the baddie and who's the goodie and that, you know, and it was really enjoyable and that. So the number 1 goes to The Deadly Bees. So just to recap, number 3, The Swarm, the bottom of the pile. Then The Bees, second from bottom, and the best one, number 1, was The Deadly Bees. Okay then, guys, that about winds up my film about these 3 treble of Deadly Bees movies. Have you seen any or all of these movies? Let me know. You know, let's get a good discussion going about these 3 Bees movies and that. You know, and is there any other Bees movies what I might know about? Recommend them below, guys. I'd like to check them out. Yeah, but this stands head and shoulders, guys, above the 3, The Deadly Bees. I loved this one. It had a good story. It wasn't just about bees attacking and that, you know, run of the mill. The characters were good. It had you guessing and that. But these were awful, guys. They really was. And especially the laughable dialogue in that one. Sorry, the laughable dialogue in that. It was just ridiculous. Now, too slow, and they could have put more bee attacks in that. There was one particular. The best scene in this was the one where the young boy goes on a picnic with his parents and that into the countryside and that, and they're just getting ready to sit down and that when all these big swarm of bees come all over and they swarm all over. You know. The boy and his parents, and he kill the parents, but the boy panics and he gets into the car. Well, of course, he's only a young boy and he's just driving like recklessly and that. You know, that's a good part in that. And when he's in the hospital recuperating, Michael Caine and Catherine Ross come to see him, and he had these terrifying hallucinations about a giant bee. I won't go into too much detail, guys, in case you haven't seen it. A big giant bee hoovering in front of his face, and Michael Caine's, he tries to reassure him. There's nothing there. There's no bee there. Now, anyway, guys, if you haven't seen it, check it out for yourself. Yeah, but yeah. But so 2 bad ones and 1 good one. Okay then, guys, that's it. So yeah, as I say, if you've got some good recommendations for killer bee movies, let me know. Okay then, guys, that's it. I'm going to wind this video up now. Usually, if you like the video, please feel free to share, subscribe, comments, and all going well. I shall be back again very, very soon with another video. Take care. Now I'm going to put Arthur Askey on now and get a little bit nostalgic and listen to his bee song. No, not really. Okay, so that's all for now.